Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another video. So in this video, we're going to be configuring LUNs and data stores inside of our ESXi server. First, we have to get our new drives that we just created into a LUN, into our iSCSI connectors. So let's get into the video and have some fun. All right, guys. So here we are on my server. So I have my whole environment set up and booted up. So first things first, we have our iSCSI disk 1 and disk 2 at about 700 gigs, 750 gigs. I'm probably going to put 700 gigs on our LUNs once we have that configured. So on this server, if you're following along, you can go to iSCSI, and we have to create the iSCSI virtual disks. Okay, so let's go ahead and create that. We have D and E. Let's do D first. Let's go ahead and hit next. And then I just wrote down some stuff, so I just want to make sure I have this in my notes. Let me actually share what I did here. Let's bring this over here, just so you can see. And I have some other notes too that I'm following. So as you can see, my ESXi 1, 2, 3, 4, and these are the IPs I'm going to be using on the iSCSI once we get to that. But yeah, just wanted to showcase that. So let me bring this back over here. Let me make this smaller so I can put it over here. Okay, so I want to name this one VMware Datastore 1, DS01. That's fine for me. Okay, let's go ahead and next. And I want to go ahead and make this 700 gigs. That's perfectly fine for me. And everything else is good for me. Target. This is going to be a new target. Let me just see what I put for my target name. I just put VMware prod. So let's do that. Oh man, VMware prod for production. Okay, that's my target. That's fine. So we have to have access servers. So what we're going to do, we have, as you can see in my IPs, we have 10, 10, 10, 111, 112, 113, 114. And then for our backup, we have 211, 212, 213, 214. So let's go ahead and add an IP address. 111. And I want to copy this so I can just paste this. So let's do that. Add IP address and paste 12. Let me try to do this as quickly as possible. So 13, 14. Okay, and now we have to get to our other disk, right? So our other IP is going to be 211. And then 212. To 13. And then 214. Perfect. So we have all of that set up, ready to go. We can just hit next here, create. And then we're going to do the same thing for once this is created. We can go ahead and hit OK, refresh. And then we're going to go ahead and create another one. So let's do task, create a new iSCSI for E now. Next, and then we're going to name this. What did I name this? I'm just seeing what I named this So VMware DS2, DS02 for Datastore 02. Okay, perfect. 700 gigs. Perfect. Next, I want to add it to this production. That's fine. And then create. Perfect. So now we have 2 virtual disks. It's refreshed. Let's go ahead and make sure it's here. We can see here. And boom. Perfect. All right, so now what we can do, and now we're going to go ahead and add these to our VMware. So let's go jump onto our DC where our ESXi servers are. And from the other video, we created vSwitch 1, right? And NIC 1, NIC 2 on our VM NIC 6 and 7. So these are IP'd 10, 10, 10, 111, 211, and I did the same thing for the other three or the other two hosts. As you can see, everything is good. So if we come back here, what we need to do is go to storage adapter, right? So in storage adapter, we have to create a new software adapter, an iSCSI, right? Because we're going to be connecting to iSCSI. So once this is done, we can rescan here. Let's go ahead and rescan. And I might have to make this smaller. Let me make this smaller just to see if we can. Let's go ahead and give me a second on that. Why isn't it showing up? Let's refresh this. We should see. There we go. All right, that was interesting. All right, so let's go ahead and make this a little larger just so you guys can see. Let's bring this over. All right, so as you can see down here now, we have properties. Let me see if I can bring this down a little bit more. Probably not. All right, so we have properties, device, paths, dynamic, discovery, static discovery, network. So we're going to be going to dynamic discovery. And what we need to do is add in our iSCSI server. So in my case, it's 10.10.10.102. And we can check that by my IPs. As you can see here, I'll bring that over again. Remember, right down here is my iSCSI server. And that's the network that it's going to be communicating on. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit OK here. Okay, so there it goes. All right, so let's go ahead and just refresh. I just want to make sure everything is good. All right, so we can see here, perfect. All right, so I'm just going down my notes here. What we need to do next is let's go ahead and do static. We can see that we have this IP address 192.168.100.61. We're not going to be using that, so we can remove that for now. Because all the traffic that's going to be communicating is over this 10.10.10.102 network. All right. I'm just seeing what else we got to do. So the network port bonding, we have to add the two ports that we have here for the switches, switch 1 and switch 2. So let's go ahead and create these two and hit OK. And give this a moment. And bada bing, bada boom. All right, so it's not yet. Let's go ahead and just rescan the adapters. There we go. Now they're active. Okay. As you can see here, now they're active. Perfect. So now what we have to do, since we got the iSCSI adapters, we have communication between our adapters and the iSCSI server. Now what we need to do is add. Let's go back to summary here so we can get that added away. So now what we have to do is add our storage. So let's go ahead and add a new data store. VMFS is fine for me because we're going to be using this as a LUN. And we're going to be doing disk 0. And what did I name this as? VMware DS01. Okay. So let's do that. VMware DS01 for Datastore 01. And I want to put 0 in there. That's all fine. Just hit next, next, finished. All right. So we're going to do the same thing for the next disk. Okay. So for this one, and we're going to do the same thing, VMware DS02. Hit next, next, finished. Perfect. Let me see what else I have to do here. I think that should be it. So let's just go ahead and go to data stores. And we have Datastore 02 and Datastore 01. So I want to do that off camera for the next 3, just so it's not a long video. I'm going to do that same exact process for ESXi 02, 03, 04, and we'll be continuing in the next video. Thank you so much for viewing and have a beautiful day.